The slap echoed louder than the music. For a moment, the entire ballroom went silent. 300 guests froze, glasses midair, conversations cut off, all eyes locked on me. My father stood in front of me, red-faced and trembling with rage. My cheek stung, but the real pain came from the shock. He'd done it. He actually hit me. It happened during my brother Ryan's wedding, the event my parents had been planning for months like it was a royal coronation. Everything about it screamed perfection: floral arches, gold-rimmed plates, designer outfits. They wanted the night to reflect our family's success. And I, apparently, didn't fit that image. It started when I walked in wearing a simple black suit instead of the custom tux they'd picked out for me. I'd told them I couldn't afford it. Money was tight after I'd been laid off. Dad had scoffed at the excuse. "Always something with you," he'd muttered earlier that week. At the reception, things got worse. Ryan's friends joked that I was the brother who never figured life out, and instead of defending me, my father joined in. I bit my tongue, trying to stay calm. But then he pushed further. "You could have at least made yourself useful tonight," he said loudly, so everyone around could hear. Instead of standing there like a failure. Something in me snapped. "At least I didn't fake success with debt and pride," I muttered back. The words barely left my mouth before his hand did. A sharp crack cut through the laughter and music. My head tilted to the side. My mother gasped, Ryan froze mid-toast, and the guests watched in stunned silence. My father's chest rose and fell, his eyes filled with fury, but also something else. Fear. He knew he'd gone too far. I didn't say a word. I just stared at him, hand on my burning cheek. Then I turned and walked out of the ballroom, past the photographers, the gossiping relatives, and the shocked faces of people who'd once admired him. Outside, cold air hit me like freedom. I stood beneath the soft glow of the venue lights, the laughter inside replaced by my pounding heartbeat. My phone buzzed, messages from friends, from relatives, but I ignored them all. That night, as I sat alone in my car, I promised myself something. I wouldn't return as the family disappointment anymore. The next time they saw me, they'd see exactly who they had tried to humiliate, and who I'd become because of it. The morning after the wedding felt unreal. My cheek was still sore, but the real pain wasn't physical, it was the silence. The kind that follows an explosion. My phone buzzed nonstop. Missed calls, messages, and then a notification that made my stomach drop. Someone had filmed the moment my father hit me. The clip was spreading like wildfire. Within hours, people were tagging, sharing, gossiping. It wasn't just family, it was everyone. The video showed everything. My father's raised hand. The stunned guest. Me standing there, frozen, trying to hold on to whatever pride I had left. Then walking out, face burning, as the music awkwardly stopped. The caption someone added, "Groom's brother slapped during the wedding. Family drama goes public." I wanted to crawl out of my skin. For years, my father had been obsessed with image. How people saw us, how we looked, what others said. And now his perfect mask had cracked for everyone to see. But I didn't feel revenge or satisfaction. Just emptiness. 4 days I didn't pick up any calls. Not from my mom, not from Ryan, not from anyone. I turned my phone off, stayed inside, and thought about every time he'd humiliated me quietly before. His disappointed sighs at family dinners, the way he compared me to Ryan, the constant, "You'll never understand responsibility." Maybe this was just the final public version of something he'd been saying all my life. But something inside me shifted that week. The shame turned into resolve. I'd spent too long trying to prove myself to someone who'd never see me. If I was ever going to be respected, it wouldn't be because of his approval. It'd be because I built something on my own. So I started working, obsessively. I'd always been decent with digital design, so I opened my laptop and began freelancing again. It was slow at first. Small gigs, late nights, endless revisions. But I didn't stop. Each project gave me momentum. Within 3 months, I had a proper website, returning clients, and even referrals coming in. My income doubled, then tripled. Ironically, while my life was quietly rebuilding, my parents' world was cracking. The video wouldn't die. It spread from social media to local blogs, then gossip channels. Prominent businessman assaults son at wedding. People whispered. Clients backed off. My father's colleagues stopped inviting him to events. The man who lived for reputation now couldn't leave the house without hearing his name in hushed tones. My mother tried calling. She texted things like, "Your father isn't well. Please come home." But I wasn't ready. I didn't want apologies born out of humiliation, I wanted understanding, and I doubted they had that to give. Weeks passed. Then one evening, there was a knock on my apartment door. It was Ryan. His expression was tired, almost guilty. "Dad's been miserable," he said quietly. "He's not sleeping. Barely eat. He feels like he lost you." I stared at him. "He didn't lose me, Ryan. He pushed me away." "I know," Ryan sighed. "But he's realizing it too. He keeps replaying that video. Says it doesn't even feel like him anymore." Something in me softened. I didn't want to admit it, but part of me missed my family. The chaos, the laughter, the rare good moments. Maybe it was time to face them, not for their sake, but mine. A week later, I went back to that house. It felt smaller somehow, like time had shrunk it. My father was sitting at the dining table, shoulders slumped, eyes red. My mother hovered nearby, nervous. He looked at me but didn't speak right away. Then he said, voice breaking, "I can't undo what I did. I've watched that moment over and over. I don't even recognize myself." For the first time in my life, I saw something in his eyes that wasn't anger or disappointment. It was guilt. Real, heavy guilt. "I thought I was teaching you discipline," he said quietly. "But all I taught you was fear. You deserved better than that." My throat tightened. "All I ever wanted was for you to be proud," I said. "Not of what you wanted me to be, but who I actually am." He nodded, tears welling up. "I am proud. I just realized too late how much I ruined trying to make you fit into my idea of success." We sat in silence for a long time. The same dining table that had once been a battlefield now felt like neutral ground. There were no shouting matches, no accusations, just truth. Before I left, he stood up slowly and said, "You became everything I wanted to be, but without becoming me. That's strength." That line stayed with me long after I walked out the door. For the first time, I didn't feel small or powerless. The slap that once broke me had somehow become the moment that freed me. I wasn't the son who'd been humiliated in front of 300 people. I was the man who finally stopped needing their approval to stand tall. Months later, our family was quieter but more real. My father treated me with respect, my mother finally stopped walking on eggshells, and Ryan reached out more often. The wedding slap that once defined me had turned into the moment that healed us all, because it forced truth into the open.